Good morning. Hope you're good. Had a question yesterday, so I wanted to get straight into that one, which was an interesting question actually, quite sciencey, but also relevant for any fat loss journey really. And just the more you understand about it, the more we can kind of delve into why we do what we do. So, what happens to fat when you lose it? What happens to body fat when you lose it? It's a good question. So when you're actually in a calorie deficit and you lose body fat, you actually breathe it out, carbon dioxide, just fat leaving your body. You do actually sweat it out a little bit, not as in when you're exercising, but just in general, it can come out, it can come up. It just leaves your body in like that. Now, on this, why is this kind of relevant? Well, the lady who asked it in question, she's lost over 6 kilos in the last 28 days, over 5 inches in the last 28 days. And she said her body shape's changing a lot. What happens to the fat once you've lost it? I'm losing inches. It's kind of turned a bit different. My body shape's completely changing. I'm seeing muscle, and which is awesome. And there's a few reasons for this. Morning, Marie. She also asked, does body fat, do fat cells just disappear? Now, this gets me into other nutritional actionable things we can do. So, if you think about this, we're human beings, we're here. When you gain weight, fat cells can actually multiply, so to speak. So you can actually create new fat cells. When you lose weight or lose body fat, your fat cells don't disappear, they just shrink, okay? So they just shrink, which means that you've got more fat cells still, but they're just smaller, which has nothing to do with your body shape, but it could potentially have something to do with keeping it off and hunger and things like that, because fat cells do talk. They do talk. When they're smaller, they can actually increase leptin in our body, reduce leptin, which means that we may be hungrier than normal, which means we may eat more. So there's things like that we need to consider potentially with regards to our nutrition and our training and how we approach this. There's research out there that after you keep weight off for a certain period of time, you almost get a new body fat norm. So our body fat level is people used to think we had a set point, and if you go below that set point, your body will just make you starving. But actually, if you go below your set point and lose a bit of body fat, and you get, like I said yesterday, with people in their 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, it didn't matter about age, when they had the support, when they had the training, the nutrition, and they were able to stick to it for their lifestyle, they all lost body fat regardless of age, which is really exciting. Now, what I want to consider with that is that those questions are kind of irrelevant, but kind of relevant in that if you think, okay, my body may be screaming a bit more for more food when I'm losing body fat, your body will go, what are you doing here? Your body's not going to love it, let's face that. But what you can do is, one, increase your protein intake, because by increasing your protein intake, you're going to stay full up for longer. If I can find my keys. You're going to stay full up for longer, which is obviously a good thing. It's also going to keep you full in between meals, so you're not going to get as hungry before your next meal. And this can have a longer lasting effect, so over time. So the more you have your protein doses, so you might not notice it straight away, but over time, you then notice it more. Over time, you're like, actually, yeah, I'm actually feeling a bit more satisfied now. Because if I look at most people's nutrition, diets when they start, most people have quite a low protein intake. And I'm not even saying have a high protein intake here, really. I'm just saying kind of moderate, really, when you look at the research. And most of us are quite low on it. Maybe we have a really light breakfast. We eat as little as we can in the day, and then we're starving in the evening. And yeah, we get some good protein in, but along with that comes a lot of other things that we probably don't need. Anyway, I need some light on. We are getting ready for our morning workouts. We have bar, total body bar, then we have Bindu doing yoga this morning. So, any questions, let me know. I hope that makes sense. Bit of a randomy sciencey one today. But anyway, they stick around, but they just shrink. So we can shrink them down, get our protein in, exercise in. And again, when you focus on that exercise as well to help with that, we're going to change our body shape. And what I'm saying with this is the same principles still apply. Calorie deficit, tone up, change your body shape, and know that exercise will give you more. Exercise gives you more than just burning calories, way more. And all this is exactly why there was that research paper that I shared yesterday. If you didn't look at that, that was all about is how big a factor does age play in weight loss. And it might play a factor in age in weight loss maintenance because, like I said, if you've got more fat cells and they're all shrink down as you've lost it, you could get more urges potentially, more hunger than normal. But the same principles still apply, and then you've just got to use the tools in the toolbox to help you with that, whether that's resistance exercise to change your body shape, to keep you on track, to fit your clothes better when maybe the scales don't go down the right way, to maybe be consistent for a week longer than you normally would before going, you know what, I can't do this anymore. These little things really do add up. Anyway, we best set up. It looks like we're about to kind of start singing with this. It's just the laptop stand. Anyway, speak soon. Any questions? Do let me know. Take care.